All right, Sam, here's the first thing we're looking at. We're comparing it to Cat Osterman here, and that is the first couple parts, getting sideways and not swimming with your glove hand. So we want our front foot to land at a strong 45-degree angle. You can see Cat Osterman's foot is at a real strong angle there. Your toes kind of pointed towards the pitcher. So if you were to land with your front foot on a little bit stronger of an angle, that would help you to turn the rest of your body sideways. And you can see with Cat, we can pretty much only see one hip and one shoulder because of that. Her shoulders are about there, and you can see your shoulders are actually pretty open here. So if you work on getting your body sideways, that'd be something to do. And then also we want to not swim with our glove hand. You can see right there you're really swimming outside. That's a lot of wasted movement with your glove hand. Ideally, like Cat, you want to keep everything nice in line with home plate. So there's the first couple things. All right, there we go, Sam. Now we're going to see, we want to make sure you're being nice and tall on your release. We're also going to check your drag foot, okay? So these are, again, all absolutes that the elite pitchers do, okay? So we're going to look at we want to stay real nice and tall, almost have reverse posture. And you can see when Cat pitches, she's nice and tall at her release. Her head's above her chest, chest above the belly, belly above the knees, just like that. We're going to call that being stacked. So that's exactly what we want to look like. And you can see when she explodes off the mound, she's going to drag on her back toe. She's got a real firm front side there, and then boom, that back leg comes up in a nice figure four right into that firm front side. So she's really dragging hard and almost exploding that back leg into her firm front side with that figure four, okay? So that's all going to lead to more power. So now let's go over and take a look at you. When you release, you're nice and tall. That looks real good. You're stacked. You can see everything's in a nice straight line. Your head's above your chest, chest above the belly, above the hips. That all looks good. But if we go and look at how you're dragging, you're pushing off the mound. You're dragging on your toe, but you just kind of leave everything hanging back there, right? If we worked on really kind of dragging and almost exploding that back leg into your firm front leg, that's going to bring some more power to your pitch. So I'll show you how to do that. But you can see right there, and then it just kind of stops. And if you look at Cat, she explodes that back leg up and finishes a nice figure four like that. So, but as far as being stacked, looks really good. All right, now we're going to look at arm circles and making sure that your hand comes through before your hip. So I'm just going to plot Cat's arm circle here just on the ball, and you can see that there's nothing ever gets out of whack. It's all nice and straight, right, like that. It's a perfect arm circle, right to release. So let's see how you do, Sam. There's your ball. Want it to stay all in as much of a line as possible, and then there's no wasted movement. And I would say that looks pretty darn good. So your arm, there's no crazy movements with your arm circle. That looks real good. And as far as your release hand coming through before your hip, let's take a look at that. That looks, I think, like we said earlier, if you work on getting a little more sideways, everything else is fine. Yeah, I don't see any issues with that at all. We just need to work on getting you a little bit more sideways. So good arm circle, and I think your hand's coming through by your hip fine as well. All right, Sam, now we're going to look at your arm whip, all right? So we don't want the arm to be fully, you want a slight natural bend to the elbow, which you have right there. And I'm just going to show you a Cat Osterman real quick, right in there. So we don't want the front arm locked. We want a slight bend to the elbow, which you have. And then the elbow should lead to the hip. So the elbow hits the hip first, which it does right there. And then you got your arm whip. So that looks pretty good. So as far as getting off the mound, we want to look like a sprinter almost. So there you are. You're coming back. All right, we bend the knee, we bend the waist, we explode off the mound like a sprinter. You use your arms to swing up to get you out. Your front leg's high, almost like you're stepping over something. Up together, down together. That looks real good. Exploding off the mound fine. So I guess just overall, as far as the absolutes that I see, is you need to work on getting a little bit more sideways. Get your front foot at a stronger 45-degree angle. Don't swim with your glove hand. and maybe work on dragging your back leg into a firm front side a little bit harder. And that's about it.